Good morning, everybody. Super early video today because we already made a move. Since the plan only really concentrates on one move at a time, I don't see a point in waiting for the next one. Okay. Here's the issue. I trade with a long bias, and we had a breakdown of the triangle that I was tracking. It's this one right here, this small triangle. You can see it outlined right here. The reason I don't like breakdown shorts, even when they're outside of triangles in high time frame uptrends, is because every time we take these lows out, this low, test this low, there's always the chance that this play turns into a false breakdown. I'm always looking for excuses to get long. Now I can quantify that in a more intelligent way and say, here's the reason why. It's because I like certainty in trades. And what that means is I know that if we are to reclaim right here, with certainty that we will backtest our breakdown. Okay, so to me, that gives me an entry, it gives me a stop loss, and it gives me a target. However, when I know that we're coming down in a breakdown short, I don't know whether this will turn into a false breakdown or we'll take the full bear side target. I don't know, right? It could be either. So if I can't define the trade, I don't like it. I like to keep the bias in the same direction as the high time frame uptrend for that very reason. Okay. So if you want to keep a long bias like me, I'm going to show you how to do it. What you need to do is we need to recover 7520 now. That's the pre-market resistance. If we recover 7520, we no longer have to wait for 7550s because we only need to break one resistance to end this correction, and we haven't done that yet. Okay. Zooming way out, guys, we are just in a big symmetrical triangle. This doesn't give us directionality, right? It's where we're at right now. So if we were to break down this triangle, which we have not done, we would look for about 7250. And if we were to reclaim, like we've been discussing the past couple days, we'll test the top of the triangle at 7670s and 7734. Okay. So it all starts with the first move, but hopefully I explained to you why I don't like breakdown shorts and high time frame uptrends. We've been in a high uptrend, frame uptrend for basically years at this point. So you might think I only trade long. That's not true. But we haven't been in a high time frame correction in a very long time outside of like tariff spills and stuff like that. When we rapidly come towards back tests on the downside. So it's just easier to play the reclaims. I can quantify the trades for you better. Bitcoin, I think, is finding its higher low. I do believe it's probably right here. So I think that's going to reverse pretty soon. Let's go over some of the trades from today that I made this morning. The first one is you got to trim out a NUE. I think you can push this trade a little bit further if you want to. The goal is the gap fill right here, but I think it's close enough that you should probably, unless you're trying to squeeze that extra couple pennies out of it, this is the long that we're looking for. We're going to look for it to break into some sort of flag. I don't know. I'm not 100%. Until I get a better idea of what the structure is, I don't want to get involved in it yet. But to me, this looks like the very beginning of a Wyckoff range, meaning we probably got to go through here. We got to make a jaggy uptrend. We got to set a high. We got to come down for a spring and then go. Like that's kind of what I'm looking at right now for NUE. So to me, it looks like it's not ready yet. We need to let it range out a little bit and get back in later. So I want to get out of that for now. I'm looking to set up a short on OXY soon, but it's going to depend on how hard CL pushes. We haven't pushed yet. You got to be out of AMD. We hit our target, which was this 50s. We actually came up to about 60 something. I think that there's more left in this trade, but I don't think it's time. Again, I think it's got to trade sideways for a little bit. Come on up here. Come on down here. Range out a little bit. Maybe gap fill right here. We have to gap behind and we'll look for more AMD later. I just think it's a good time to not be in the AMD trade anymore. Upstart looks like we're coming down. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever we're at the bottom of a range, and I'm just going to hold it. Earnings is in a couple days. We look like we're just mid-range. Well, we're towards the bottom of the range, but we're just in a range, right? Since we haven't broken our swing lows, which is over here, I can't justify cutting it, especially when my plan is to hold this for a while, right? My plan is to hold it for the whole trend leg up, and we haven't even broken this consolidation yet. Meta looks like, I don't know. Again, it's the exact same as Upstart's, just chop. We're in the middle of chop. It's okay. I added to Netflix this morning. I added around 60, right around 69. This is an addition, bringing down my average because my original ad was around 76. My targets are the same. Um, I don't know if I'm going to nail the low. I just know that I like the upside. Okay. So I'm okay with getting in here. I think it's going to spend some time below the 200 week right now, but the 200 weeks typically the bear target in corrections, and we're through it, right? So if it's consolidating below it, I want to be long, and that's what I did. I haven't had the chance to long MVEX yet. Palantir is just being annoying, but I do believe it's just on its way up to chop some more. Yeah. Oh, I didn't cover the miners, which are the important ones right now. Riot, I think you should trim off a little bit. Not a crazy amount, but a little bit because we're up like 26, 27% off entry. I think it's going to go at least to the mid 30s. The thing is though, you never want to hold a full trade for a full position for a full move, right? It's good to trim off a little bit as you go because they're always going to give you a chance to rebuy a little bit, even if it's higher on the chart, you know. But the idea here is you don't ever want to be like, oh, I bottom ticked it all the way to a top tick, all the way to a bottom tick. You're just taking stuff out of the middle as it goes. And then, it's like, Mara, I'm going to DCA into a new position as it comes down, right? So you don't need to always be right about the absolute top and the absolute bottom. You just got to grab a bit of the middle. The plan here is that Riot and Mara are both bullish, but I haven't added the Mara's third bullet yet. I discuss this probably once every 2 or 3 weeks, but since there's a churn of people here and there, I don't want to ever add more money to a position. I want to use the profits from a position to add to it itself. The goal is to either bring the cost of shares down or to be able to afford more shares for the same amount of capital. So for instance, Riot is directly powering the Riot buy, right? Like the old Riot cells are powering the new Riot buy. And the idea here is that Riot is ahead of Mara, so I want to use Riot profits for the third Mara bullet. What happens if Riot and Mara keep going together? Then I just won't switch them. I won't go from Riot to Mara. I'll hold Riot in the whole Mara like I am. Riot will be stronger. I'm sorry, Riot will have more weight than Mara, but it'll be running harder than Mara anyway, so that's where I'd want it to be. So the idea here is I want Riot to push harder, faster than Mara, given the opportunity to get out of that and then DCA up into Mara when it reclaims like that 13-ish level. That's the plan for right now with the miners. Is there anything else to cover? Oh, Bitcoin's bouncing already. That's cool. I don't know, guys. Everything looks okay to me. Everything looks okay. Let's see if we can get this reclaim going. You're going to want to go ahead and mark this on your chart, 7520. If we get through that, it's probably going to look something like this. Remember, I don't like to do this sort of thing because I'm saying that I know that this is low and I couldn't possibly. But instead, what I want to do is if we get above here, what you would look for is a sweep out of this local high right here. And you would want to see the first higher low off the 6550s, right? Or 6545 to 55, something like that. This is what you want to see for a bull plan. For the bear stuff, you can't say. Like we could easily make it down to 7400 just as easily as we could sweep these lows in reverse. Okay, but I will say one last thing about this on the high time frame. If we do reverse and we go for the bull plan, like I'm speculating right here in this drawing, my suspicion is that we come and we take some of these upside targets like so. Like we come take them, maybe even a little bit higher, and then we come back down for it anyway. So I will watch this structure on the way up if we do what I'm thinking that we're going to do. And if this structure is kind of like running out of steam, 1, 2, 3, and we break a higher low, I think we're just going to catapult right back down to that missed back test, okay? I think that if it went straight here right now, that's always a possibility. But I don't know. I can't tell you that. I can't divine that from the information they're giving us right now. We're right in between. I just know that this scenario is way easier to play because I'll be able to tell you, well, if we reclaim here, I know that we're going to go to the top of the flag, and I know that the breakout target's here, right? So if I can tell you that it's got so much more certainty behind it than telling you, well, we could sweep these lows, or we could test here, or we could come down to our swing low, blah blah blah. So I'm going to leave this as it is because I just simply don't like the idea of breakdown shorts. And if you do, that's okay. You can play those to your heart's content. Hopefully, I explained my position and why I'm not a big fan. Take care, guys.